All right, take two. Hey, what's up? Happy Sunday. Emily Kurtovich here. It is Sunday, September 22nd, which means we officially have 100 days left in 2019. I'm literally about to walk straight out the door, so I'm going to make this super quick, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the rest of 2019, the rest of the year, the next 100 days, and what that can mean for you in your business, in your dreams, in your goals, in your job, in your life. So let's talk about that a little bit. I want to give you some perspective today and hopefully a few little tips to really just crush the rest of this year. So I want you to take a minute, just noticing it's the hanger mark. I'm sorry, squirrel. Anyways, I want you to take a look back on 1/1/2019. Where were you? Who were you? How many of you have changed your freaking life in 2019? How many of you are a different person today than you were on 1/1/19? I know I am, and I know I've worked really hard to get here. But unfortunately, I think where a lot of you are, and this is okay because this has been me 1,000 times, maybe not 1,000 because I'm not 1,000 years old, but I've wanted to do things. I've made New Year's resolutions. I've made plans and goals and wanted them so bad, but they didn't happen. So if this is you on September 22nd and you're not where you want to be, you're not where you planned to be at the beginning of the year, this is so for you, and I hope that you find some inspiration here. So as you're hopping on, please say hi. If you want to share what your New Year's resolutions were, drop them below. Let me know if you're crushing it or if you need some help getting your butt moving, because we still have 100 days. Do you realize your life could change in 100 days? Do you realize how much potential is in 100 days? You could light this biatch up. You have to commit and go for it. So let's talk about that a little bit. What are you going to do for the next 100 days? Are you going to crush it? Are you going to go for it? Or are you going to waste it? Are you going to wait for 1/1? Are you going to wait until 2020 to make new goals and go crush them and start new dreams? Are you going to dig in and go for what you planned to do? So I was listening to an audiobook by Grant Cardone today, and something really stuck out to me that he said about failure. And he was like, this applies to businesses, this applies to network marketing, this applies to pretty much anything. But when you see people when you see people being lazy, when you see laziness, nobody chooses to necessarily be lazy. What's actually happening is there's underlying fear of failure. So when you're looking at a business, for instance, if people are getting lazy, especially when you saw them coming in hot and they were working hard, they had work ethic, they were going for it, and now all of a sudden they're lazy, well, they didn't just wake up one day and choose to be lazy. What happens to all of us is we let the failure get to us. We go for something, we hit a roadblock, we hit a failure, and we let it get to us and we stop. And we stop because it doesn't feel good to fail. It doesn't feel good to try something and not succeed. It doesn't feel good to have all this faith and momentum going into something and it doesn't pan out the way that we thought it would. So we get lazy because we want to sit back and stop feeling that. We don't want to feel the failure. We don't want to feel the pain of not progressing. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how to change your perspective around failure, because it's something that is imperative if you want to do big things in life, if you want to grow as a person, if you want to grow in your relationships, if you want to grow in your business. You need to get comfortable with failure. You need to not only get comfortable, you need to not only expect it, but you need to celebrate it. Because if you're failing, that means you're trying. If you are failing over and over and over, that means you're getting up over and over and trying again, and that is imperative for success. I read somewhere that success is nothing but standing on top of a pile of failures, and that is so true. Anything that you want out of this life, it's going to take some trial and error. And if you're going for things and you're just crushing it, and every time you put your mind to do something, every time you set a goal, you're crushing it, then I want to let you in on a little secret. You're not crushing goals. You're doing what's comfortable. You're doing the things that you already know how to do. You're not growing. You're not stretching. That is not growth. Growth is pushing yourself to do things that you've never done before. Growth is setting a mile marker out there that you've never hit before and pushing for it. And you're not going to hit it on the first try. Maybe every once in a while you might set something, and if you hit it on the first try, you need to look a little closer at what your goals are and make them a little bit bigger, because you shouldn't be knocking it out of the park on the first swing. That should not be happening. You should be experiencing failure if you are trying to grow. So learn to celebrate it. Every time you fail, every time you get those no's, do a little, physically celebrate. Do a little dance, make a little love. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Learn to enjoy and pour gratitude into the journey, because if you don't learn to appreciate the journey, you're going to keep quitting. If you can't learn to appreciate that failure means something positive, then you're going to quit. You're going to continue to quit, and you're going to stay. If you keep it real, if you keep saying, well, that's just how it is, I'm just keeping it real, just keeping it how it is. Ray Higdon says, if you're keeping it like it is, it's going to stay like it is. You've got to fight for the things that you want. You've got to stretch yourself, and you've got to celebrate the failures. Celebrate being knocked on your ass. So this is one of the biggest things we learned in the Play to Win reality show, working with Ray Higdon. He talked about teaching us how to play to win instead of simply playing not to lose. And I got to be honest, I didn't get what he was talking about when I first heard that. I'm like, that's awesome. It sounds like it would look great on a t-shirt, but I don't know what that means. Play to win. What does it mean to play to win versus playing not to lose? So I want to give you an example of my husband's job. He's a supervisor, and he came home one day and was talking to me. He has to do performance evaluations. And so he was like, it blows my mind how many people were upset that they got a satisfactory rating. So there's 3 ratings you can get. There's unsatisfactory, satisfactory, or excellent. And so he had employees coming to him going, well, I did everything you asked me to do. Why didn't I get an excellent? Why didn't I get an E on my report? And my husband was like, it just kind of blows my mind that they don't understand that you got a satisfactory. Yes, you did. Here are all the boxes that you're supposed to do for your job, and I checked all of them because you did all of them. So you got a satisfactory, and that's good. But if you want excellent, you check all the boxes and then some. Checking all the boxes and getting satisfactory, that's playing not to lose. That's showing up. That's putting in some effort. You didn't come in last place. You're not losing. You're not failing. You showed up and you did the work. But if you want to play to win, if you want to be picked first in life, if you want to get the excellent on your progress report, if you want to get the promotion, if you want to get the job over the next person, if you want to get the next rank that you've been fighting for, then you got to play to win. You got to show up and fight. You got to fail your way through it and keep freaking going. Hey, Carol. So the last thing I want to say is I want you to, again, look back at 1/1/19. What did you say you were going to do this year? Where are you at? And I want you to get really, really honest with yourself. Do you want it? Those goals that you set, those dreams that you have, do you want it? It's okay to not want it. I can't tell you how many things that I've said, I want that, I want to do that, I want that job. But when I took a little closer look, or when I started working towards that, I realized, I don't necessarily want that. That ain't what I thought it was. Not my thing. Whatever. That's fine. But be honest with yourself. If you don't want it, then stop saying you're going to do it. Just let it go. Stop sitting on the fence going, maybe I'll put my toe in and see what happens. I'll just hang out and see, and if it happens, great. If not, no big deal. That's not winning. That is not playing to win. That's not showing up. That is not growth. That's not crushing 2019 at all. So be honest with yourself. If you want it, we'll talk about that in a second. But if you don't want it anymore, that's okay. Just stop saying it. Stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself, oh, I'm just too busy, or I've got too much on my plate. Be honest. Is it a priority? Is it something you want? Now, if it is something that you want, you need to get crystal clear on exactly what it is you want. Get detailed. Why do you want it? Where do you want to be? What is it going to look like? What is it going to feel like? Who else is going to be there with you? Get super crystal clear on exactly what you want. Commit to it. Decide that it's yours. None of this, again, I'll put my toe in and see what happens. That's not going to cut it. Decide that it's yours. Commit to it. And then take that crystal clear vision. I want you to start stepping backwards and deciding, 100 days from now, what do I want? And what do I need to do each day to get there? So For instance, if you're in a network marketing company and it's a certain rank, well, get really specific on what that goal is, what that rank looks like, how much money is it, how many people are under you, what do your sales look like, what does your sales volume look like, what does your team have to look like? And then take that and scale it back to what do I have to do each month, and then scale it back to, well, then what do I have to do each week, and then scale it back to what do I have to do each day, and then commit to it. Commit to what you're going to show up every single day and do for the next 100 days so that come 1/1/2020, you got it. Think about how that would feel. So ask yourself again, how bad do you want it? I hope that helps you guys. I hope somebody needed to hear that today. I hope that you're going to run with me for the next 100 days because I am feeling re-energized and fired up about crushing my goals for 2019 and coming into the next year bigger than ever. Not weight-wise, because I'm losing weight, okay? If you need help figuring out an action plan for what you need to do, reach out to me. I would love to be your sounding board. I would love to walk you through whether it's a network marketing company, whether it's a promotion at your job, whether it's a mindset issue, whether it's a dream issue. If you need help formulating your dream or figuring out how you're going to get there, reach out to me. Let's chat. Happy Sunday. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.